Hello everyone, this is Nu-Trix, and today it's the second song of the 6 songs in 6-month challenge that I created for myself because I want to finish songs that I have and they're not done, and if I don't put a time restraint on making them, I will never finish them. And I think that's something we all have in common at one point. We just don't have a deadline, so we don't finish our stuff. Especially when music is not under a contract, we have time. At least that's what we say to ourselves, and then we never finish them. So that's what I'm doing. I'm finishing my songs. Let's just go into this song, Deadly Earth. These are these random automatic naming that comes from Gadget on the iPad. So this song I started years ago, and it was more of a smooth, soft song, kind of more ambient in a way, with rhythm. It kind of stayed in my iPad for years, and I came back to it and said, okay, I like it, but it didn't fit with any style of release that I did at that point, and I felt that it was missing something. I'll make you listen to the original Gadget mix, so you'll hear exactly how it sounded in Gadget. It sounds good. I like the result of it, but I wanted to have a fuller sound and complete it with other sounds than the internal sound of Gadget. So here you go with the original. So I liked it, but I felt it was the beginning of something that could be better. What I did is I took every track and I doubled it. So you basically go in function and you go duplicate. And on the next track, I assign it to MIDI. And so these tracks are copies of the original, the pad track and the MIDI pad track. And so all of these are MIDI tracks now. The interest of this is when you go export, you actually can export two ways. So what I did, I exported to standard MIDI file, so I can actually use the MIDI file somewhere else. And I also exported as audio file, just here, files, all tracks, or that's it, all tracks separately. Usually it bounced and then you get your tracks. How do we export from Gadget so that you can actually continue in another software? You basically go into export here. We got multiple version, Gadget Cloud, you can upload there. You can go to the Dropbox, you can go and audio copy through that software, audio share to that software. Ableton Live project, so you can actually save in an audio live project, which is interesting if you want to continue in live. So I'm going to have the MIDI. You can also export the audio and you select the value of it. File means it's going to be saved on the iPad or a connected hard drive, and Dropbox is going to be saved online in the Dropbox cloud space. Now, this is interesting because you'll be able to replay the same structure that you see here. So by blocks, if you want, inside Live. So basically, you're going to have the same structure here as in Ableton Live. Now, I wish this feature would also export to Zenbeats. I understand it won't, but I'm wondering why other companies haven't created yet an import from live files or a live session, Like Zenbeats, if I could in Zenbeats say import from Ableton Live project, and you import once the blocks, and I accept that I lose all the, plugin assignment or whatever, but I would like to get all the MIDI files and all the audio file that are recorded, so I would be able to continue here with new sounds and all that stuff. So that'd be interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. In my case, I exported 2 times. One in file and all tracks. So all the tracks were exported. And in this case, I'm going to do it just for one. I'm going to say I'm going to export the drum tracks. Just the drum. Now it's saved. It has been saved inside the hardware of the iPad. And I also exported the standard MIDI file. So I go into Zenbeats. You import, you just click where you want it and go import audio file, and then you select the file that a link to it, and then you just drag it where you want it, you drag it where you want. And then it will be there, and then you can, again, just change the beginning and the end, or you can move it the way you want, and then adapt it the way you want. I did the same thing with MIDI. For MIDI, you're going to go here, go import MIDI file. So it's a right-click in the section you want, and then when you go import MIDI file, it shows you where you want. So again, you have to browse your hard drive until you get to that right section and import it. You see there even named the name of the track. It was on track 1, and the name of the instrument was the Helsinki. It was a pad, because I decided it was pad sound. So this is all these tracks, and then I basically just cleaned it up. The next step was basically listen to everything, decide on sounds for the MIDI, and decide, because the MIDI is basically the same notes as the original track that you have here. So I wasn't sure first if I would do a mix of the original Gadget song, because I listened so much to that song just as I worked on it, that the sound of it was so part of my brain that I couldn't imagine it would sound differently. So I wasn't sure if I would actually take out some sounds and replace them, or I would keep that and add more to them. So it wasn't clear for me yet. So I kept the 2, the audio tracks and the MIDI file. Anyway, in the future, it's always good to have these, because if you want to repurpose something or remix a song or revisit a song, having the audio file and the MIDI file means that you can actually take them somewhere else, even if the software you use doesn't exist anymore or doesn't work anymore with the hardware that you have. Whatever it is, you're better off having these, I would kind of say, generically used files. They can run anywhere. Neutral backup, in a way, I could call it. So then I decided to use sounds, select the sound I wanted, and basically I used a lot of the new UVI Syn. I used a lot of the sounds from UVI Syn Anthology 4. Actually, all of them in MIDI come from there. And then you have the original audio file from Korg Gadget. And then it was basically cleaning up. It was more of a production stage at that point, because the song was already the structure I wanted. So basically listen to the sound. There's too much stuff happening. I don't hear the new sound, so getting rid of the old sound, cutting stuff up. So that's why you see that there's section cut here and there. And as I went away, as I went more into it, I actually saved a couple of versions. And the last one, I'll play the last version that I have. And it's going to be the last. Next step is to actually master it. I had a problem importing the audio file, though. When importing an audio file from a different software, it was recorded at a certain speed. So in this case, it was 106 BPM. And I looked at my Gadget software, and okay, Gadget, verify 106 BPM. Perfect. These are exported at that speed. So when I put them into a song that has 120 BPM, they don't fit with the time, because by default they import it and they just play it, the raw file. It doesn't analyze it. A good thing about Zenbeats, and a lot of software do that, if I change the tempo, basically the playback of the wave will not change. It's just that you'll see that the line of the tempo tracks or the patterns or the beats will align with the beats of the MIDI file. There's a difference in the internal tempo of Roland Zenbeats compared to Korg Gadget. 106 on Gadget is actually slightly faster than 106 on Roland Zenbeats. So Zenbeats, to have the same speed, so the audio track has been recorded, to have it on time with the grid of the tempo, I have to put it at 105.9. It's not a big deal. It's just that if I don't do that, as the song plays, I get to the end, it's just the new tracks that are playing MIDI files with the old tracks that have been recorded and burned to audio, they don't align. So it sounds awkward. So it took me a while to go, okay, this is my problem. This is where I'm going to put it in sync. Every time I talk about mixing and music production, it kind of fits. Music production, you're still into deciding what's going to be important in the song. Mixing, you're kind of doing the tech work to realize that vision of what's happening in the song. And I firmly believe in that a song is a story. And then there's evolution in the song to become something interesting. So my logic was in that original song, I lack that build up. So this song is really built into a way that using the new sounds from UVI, I create tension more and more at the beginning. So there's kind of slowly building tension. And then you have brass and pads coming in and bass and arpeggiators giving that little tension still coming and playing. And then you get drums coming in. So I'll make you play the last version of it. It's not mastered yet. I have another video about mastering because I'm trying a new AI-supported mastering software. I'm going to test it. I'm going to come back to you on that in another video very soon. So let's actually listen to that version of it. And all the audio tracks are from the original sound of Gadget, so the internal sound. And all the other ones are using UVI latest Synth Anthology 4, which, like, for example, in this case, I just love that. deep sound of tension, and it's kind of, very heavy. And at the same time, I've got this thing here. This brings a lot to the song. Let's just listen to this. I really cool. From the beginning, the whole thing, not mastered. That's it. That's the song. That's where it's going for now. Again, there's no voice on it yet. This one, I added delay eternity. If I turn it off, it was too dry. It was too clear, too in your face. So by adding this, it sounds really cool now. That's the logic of this song. Now, this is not the mastered version. I'm going to come back with mastering very soon. I'm going to do another video because I have this new mastering suite that is an online solution that is contacting me to test out what they do. So I'm going to test out with this song I did last month. And I'll come back and you'll hear the result. You'll see for yourself how it sounds like. So that's going to be soon. And this is the song from August, so I'm late for September. So I'm going to create something new, or I'm going to finish something else really quickly for this month. If you want to have the full behind the scenes on how I fixed the tempo and how I imported the tracks and the MIDI tracks into this, you'll see all of this in the members section. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You get access to behind the scenes and other things. And in the section, in the members section, you can ask questions. And I'll create specific videos for you guys. That's it. Stay safe, make more music, and see you soon. Cheers.